everyone, I'm Terry, and this is the Yarnjoy podcast, episode number 160. Welcome. Okay, so let's get right into it, and I'll show you what I got done this week. Okay, so for my finished objects, I got 3 of them done. So finished object number 1 is a pattern. I have been wanting to make one of these for quite a while, and I ran upon it again in my bookmarks, and I thought, oh, I haven't made one yet, so let's make one. So this is the Pocket Bear, and it is a pattern by spinayarncrochet.com. I think that's what it is. I will link all the patterns in the description box below. Free pattern. She has a series of what she calls pocket animals. She's got a fox. I think that was the first one she did. She has a duck that's really cute. She has not a duck, I think it's a chick. A bear and a bunny and a raccoon, and I mean, she's got several of them, and they're all super cute, very easy to put together. It is the flat, like ragdoll type design where you do the front panel, the back panel, and then single crochet all the pieces together. Okay, I made this with some scraps fabric that I have, not fabric, scrap yarn that I have. This is Caron Simply Soft, I think in maybe Country Red or something like that. I've got quite a few of them up there in that shoe organizer with no labels because they were given to me. I think my sister-in-law picked them up like at a garage sale or something, all these skeins of yarn, and so there was no label on them, but I can tell that it's Caron Simply Soft. But anyway, so that is finished object number 1, and this little pocket bear will be going into the box that I'm collecting items to put in for Amber of Ooh Ah Crochets, her make-along that she's having for Garfield Elementary, a little school and that her children go to, and so this will be one of the objects. I do have a pretty good amount of backpack buddies that I had made back when I was doing Vlogtober, I think, and so I'm going to include those into this collection of items that I'm going to be sending her. Okay, so if you want to know more about that make-along, it's a charity make-along. You don't have to send the items to her to go to the elementary school. You can donate items for children in your own area if you want to. But anyway, I will link Amber's channel below, so that way you can find out more information about that. Okay, so that's finished object number 1. Okay, finished object number 2 is preemie hat number 1 for July. Okay, so this is the preemie hats I'm donating to the one of our local hospital NICU departments for their Halloween hat drive for their preemie babies. Okay, so this is preemie hat number 1 of July, and it's a little frog hat. This is another one of the doll animal hats pattern that I've done the tiger so far, and now the frog. I think that's all. They do have a puppy that I think I'm going to be working on next, and they have a bear hat also. It's actually a little tiny hat for a doll, and I will link that pattern below. It's a free pattern also. And I did use, instead of worsted weight yarn, I used like number 3 weight yarn, like baby yarn, to make it down even smaller. Anyway, I think it turned out really cute. The eyes were done where you made like an actual eyeball, look like an eyeball. It was a ball, and then you made the green part of the eyeball that was same pattern as the eyeball, but you don't stuff it and you only go so far, and then you insert that eyeball into the eyelid. So anyway, I think that's cute. And speaking of frogs, we have a new resident in our backyard that we discovered underneath one of our trees in our backyard. So I will post a picture right here of our new little resident that's been living there. Okay, so isn't he cute? I mean, I wouldn't want to pick him up or touch him or anything, but I like to look down in there and see him and say, hello, Mr. Toad, and go along. Anyway, so back to finished objects. I have one more finished object. Now, this is a pattern that I came up with I started writing the pattern out. It is a pattern of a project to fit a need, I guess you'd say. So let me show you a picture. Well, I'll talk about it and then I'll show you a picture of it. But anyway, we have our kitchen sink, okay? So you have your faucet and the handle to turn the water on is on to the side. And so every time you'd want to turn the water on to wash your hands, then you would reach over to do the faucet, push it up to, or whatever it is, I think push it up to turn it off, and it would get water that would drip off of your hands onto the back of the counter, back underneath where the faucet is behind the sink. And so my husband was just putting like a paper towel or something like that underneath there to try to absorb some of that water that was dripping, that was collecting there at the back of the sink. And so I decided to come up with something that what I am calling a faucet bib. Okay, so I will show you, I will put in a picture here now of this faucet bib that I crocheted for our faucet, okay? Okay, so like I said, I made it, well, I didn't say this part, but I made it out of crochet cotton, okay? I think it's just peaches of cream. It's a cone of cotton yarn that I have. So I was trying to write the pattern down as I was going, and I did it for a while, and then it just got to where I was having to try it on and then adjust it and then take it off, adjust it, put some stitches on and back and forth, and finally I just lost track and I just didn't write any more pattern down. So, but anyway, here is my, since it looks like a bib, here is my faucet bib that I designed to fit around the faucet. Now I didn't have it just round because I didn't want it had to hang like to the side, like this, to the side. So this part would be, the faucet would be over that part, so it would absorb up the water, okay? And so that's kind of how it turned out to be. Like I said, I was doing it round for a while, and then I knew that I needed to make it more long on one side than the other. And so I've just experimented and kept working with it, and this is what I came up to be. Now, I don't know if you could see in the picture, but to the left of the faucet, I also have a, it's like a pump bottle for hand soap, and so that gets drips too, but that one is just round and you push it from the top. And so I'm going to take some more of this yarn and try to design something that will wrap around. I think that will be easier because it pretty much is going to be round, I think. So anyway, I will try to work at one of these again and to come up with actually the pattern where I write it down. Oh, and I put just a button that just kind of popped, not popped, but you could fit it through one of the stitches as far as the buttonhole goes. And so that's what I did there, okay. So anyway, that is my design of the week, and it works pretty well. Okay, so that's all my finished objects for the week. On to works in progress. Now this is crochet-wise, it's technically sort of a finished object, but not quite. But anyway, this is the llama tote that I've been working on, and I dropped a piece. Just a minute. Okay, so this is the llama tote that I've been working on. I showed you I had done the front panel. Here's the front panel, okay? And then I was working on the back panel, and I finished it. So here is what the back panel will look like. I just took stripes, it's got upside down, it's this way I think. I took the colors that I used on the front panel, and I put those, just alternating them, and that's what I came up with. And that's gonna be on the back side of the bag, okay? It's gonna be a large bag, pretty much the same size bag as the flamingo tote that I did. I used a lot of that pattern, except that I changed, well, yeah, quite a bit of the pattern. I just used this other chart, this one, for the llama from another website. That is, this chart, Llama Chart, is, I will link it below, but it is from, make and do crew. Had to think about it. And I just used that, and I had to adjust the stitch count. I think I had to add some rows on top and bottom to get the height that I needed, because I wanted to match it to the size of the flamingo bag that I did. So anyway, there is the back and the front, what it's going to be looking like. Okay, so here is the bottom, which this actual came from the flamingo tote bag, this oval bottom part that I'm going to be using stitch. That's why I wanted the stitch count to be the same on the panel, so that way it would fit this piece that I got from that other pattern. Okay, so I've got all the pieces. Now all I need to do is, before stitching them together, which what I do is I put right sides together, and then I slip stitch down each side, and then I think I slip stitch. Now I gotta remember if I did that or single crochet, but anyway, to attach the bottom part to it all the way around. Okay, but before I do that, I have the fabric that I'm going to use for the liner, and so the next step I need to do is lay my pieces down on that fabric and trace around it to get the size of the fabric I need. But if you're going to do that, just make sure when you trace around it, then you want to cut a little, like a fourth of an inch, even bigger than the line that you traced, and that would allow for your seam allowances when you're sewing the pieces together. Okay. And then I can put it together, and then I have the straps already. It's the same type of straps that I use for the flamingo bag. It's that nylon webbing. It's over there, but it's a nylon webbing strap that I use, like the hot pink one that I use for the flamingo bag. I need to pick. I have several colors, but I would imagine it's either going to be black straps or white, because none of the other colors that I have over there would work, I don't think. I do have a yellow, though. That would maybe bring that saddle out on the llama right there, the yellow. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll hold them up and see which one I decide to do. So anyway, hopefully that will be a finished object for next week if I get all that done. Okay, because it's just the stitching the pieces together and the sewing. So, okay. Let's see, next work in progress is the corner to corner baby blanket that I've been working on. This is some yarn that I got on clearance. The skein is a mess. I just started the second skein. This is Lime Brand Ice Cream in the colorway Cotton Candy. And there's the colors right there. Okay, I had two skeins of this that I had gotten from on clearance, I think from Walmart over a year ago. And then recently Joann's had a very small yarn clearance, and they had one skein of this same colorway, and so I picked it up to add to my collection of two that I had already. And so now I'm wanting to use it and make a baby blanket. So I'm just doing a basic corner to corner. Oh, I haven't measured it. I was going to measure it. Here's my progress on it. I got quite a bit of it done. And I'll bring it up a little closer so you can see the colors in it. It's very pretty. I'm liking the way the striping is coming out. I've got a pool right there of purple. And then a pool up here, well, not pool, but a striped section. I really like the way the patterning is coming out. Okay, so I finished, like I said, I finished one whole skein. Let me move things a few things right here, and I will measure it because I want to see how big it is. I meant to do that before and I forgot. So let's see. It is right now roughly 30 inches down one side, and that's just with one skein. And so I've already added the second skein, but I've only done like maybe, I added it on a purple. I think I've only done maybe a row and a half maybe of the new skein. And so and it's 30 inches. So I think I'm going to go to maybe keep working at it until it gets to maybe 32 or 34 inches, somewhere around there, and then I'm going to put the border on it. I talked about this border that I had before. I got it from a Facebook friend several years ago off another crochet site. She had designed this, it's called a Picot shell border or something, a fan, I don't know, it's very pretty, and I think it'd look really pretty on this in white. And so I'm going to use that. I had asked her for the pattern before, and she sent it to me a long time ago. Like I said, I don't know, it's been several years, pre-YouTube. I mean, before, well, not pre-YouTube, but pre-YouTube for me, before I started making videos. And so I need to contact her and see if possibly she would allow me to do a tutorial on it. I think maybe a lot of people would be interested in having this border pattern in their toolbox as far as knowing how to make it. It's very pretty, and so I'm gonna write myself a list to ask her or contact her and see if she would allow me to do a tutorial on it, because it's nice. It's a nice border, and of course I will give her the credit for it, of course. Okay, so that is finished. Let me get my notes back here. That is finished. No, works in progress number 2. Okay, works in progress number 3 is the Dash the Deer cow that I am hosting for July, for Christmas and July theme, because, you know, there's a version of him where he can have a red nose like Rudolph and be like Christmassy, or you could do just the basic brown nose, you know, deer pattern. I will pop in a picture here of Dash, both versions of Dash, so then you can see what he's going to look like when he's all put together. Okay, so we are this week is part 2 of our crochet along, and the assignment for this week was to do the ears and the antlers, and so I've gotten mine done. Like I said, I am I try to be a week ahead, so that way if I need to talk about any tips, anything about sewing them on or creating the different parts, that I can do that, and then I can put that in the video when I assign the next part. Okay, so so that's why I've gotten mine done already. And in Monday's video, when I signed these parts, I did demonstrate how I sewed on an ear and one of the antlers in that video as well. But I think he's turning out really cute. He looks this looks very white colored in the video, but it's actually Aran, I think, Red Heart Super Saver, and this is Cafe Latte, and this is Coffee, I think, in Red Heart Super Saver, and then the sparkly nose, see, it sparkles, that is Red Heart with Love Metallic, I believe. So anyway, 15 millimeter safety eyes. Okay, so I am having a fun time putting him together. I need to get started on the next part that will come out on Monday. But anyway, so he's a work in progress. And I will link the videos for the Dash crochet along. There's an introduction video, video for, well, yeah, that, and then a video for part 1, a video for part 2, and I will link them below, okay? And if you don't have time to make Dash right now with us, no problem. The videos will always be there, and so feel free to make him when you can, or if you want to. You know, you don't have to do it right now. I know, like me, I have lots of projects going at one time, so... anyway, I think everybody's having a fun time with it. They're posting pictures over on the Facebook group, the Yarnjoy Podcast Facebook group, their progress pictures, and so I'm really enjoying seeing all of them. They're looking very awesome. Okay, so that is works in progress number 3, and that is it as far as what I've worked on, I believe. Except that I've done some sewing. Okay, and I'll go ahead and talk about that a little bit. I have quite a big collection of fabric that I've accumulated over the years. Not humongous amount, but enough that I really needed to thin out, and I've really been wanting to just use it. And so I have plenty of tote bags and project bags, and so I have been sewing some, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to be including them putting them in my Etsy shop. And so I've made 2 tote bags so far, and then so I'm still working on, I want to get a collection of them made before showing them to you, but I will show you this one bag that I've made. This is for the, okay, so I've been trying to participate each month in the Stash Buster 2020 challenge that Crystal of Chronically Crocheting is hosting, and then there's some guest hosts every other month or so. And so this month the guest host is Petra of Petra's Happy Place, and so the project that she challenged us with for this month is to use your stash, or use from stash, the materials from stash, to make a bag. And so I made, since I had been sewing that day when the challenge came out, and well, no, I hadn't started it yet. I was getting ready to start it. And so I asked her, well, is it just a make-along? Does it have to be crochet, or can it be fabric? And so she said that she didn't mind. She said if you're using stash, it doesn't matter if it's stash fabric or stash yarn, but I may go ahead and make a crocheted little bag as well, so that way there's no confusion or whatever, or if that doesn't, if the other doesn't qualify. But anyway, I made this little notions pouch out of some scrap fabric that I've been wanting to use up, and I just had a very small piece, so I searched and searched for something that I could make with it. And so I ended up making this little notions pouch. And see, the fabric I had is this Tweety Bird fabric. And I just had a little bit of it, and I just thought it was so cute. I wanted to do something with it, and so I made this little notions pouch. It's not very big. It has a little flap here, and I did put a magnetic snap, okay, closure, but it also has a zipper, okay, and then there is the lining fabric right there. Some more scrap that I had, leftover yarn, leftover fabric. And then on the back side, there's also a little zipper. And so you open that up, and it's the same lining as the inside, the little pocket. Anyway, I thought it turned out really cute. And I put a zipper pull on it. And this little zipper pull is a stitch marker that Francine of Rabbit's Craft Shack, I think that's her channel, I'll link her channel below, she sent me. And so it's a little pine cone, but I thought it was really cute and had the right type of clip to be able to clip onto that zipper tab, I guess, pull, whatever. And so that's what I used. Anyway, I think it turned out really cute. I'm pretty happy with it. I may make some later to have in my shop, possibly. I still need to fine tune it a little bit. This is my first time to make it, and I noticed that I should have used yellow thread here for that top stitching instead of black, because it shows up too much, I think. I don't like that. But anyway, I think it turned out really cute, and so I'm going to be using it as something, a notions pouch, or you could use it as a makeup bag or travel bag, something that you need to put something in, your contact lens stuff or hair stuff, whatever. But anyway, that's what I made. And then, like I said, I have made 2 tote bags, but I won't show them until I'm ready to put them in the shop, because I want to make a few more to add to it. Okay, so let's see, what else? Oh, I got some Happy Mail. I got this a couple of weeks ago. I forgot to show it last week. I'm so sorry, but I just forgot. So here, I'm going to show you. Okay, so Marsha of Made by Marsha's Mom, Marsha, here on YouTube. I will link her channel below. She made me a card. It's beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And the little flower. And as you can see, well, I don't know if you saw that, but there's confetti falling out of the middle of the card. But I think that's so cute. The little flowers, these two like stand up. They're really cute. It says congratulations. Then when you open it up, there's a big, I'll dump it out into my hand, maybe you can see it. See, I don't know, it probably won't, it probably won't focus, but it's little flowers that she punched out of paper, all colors, and this was in the inside of the card when you open it up. So if you get a card from Marsha, always remember to be careful when you open it. Okay, so inside the card, she wrote, "Congrats on your retirement from homeschooling. I admire your dedication. Looking forward to seeing you more." Okay, and it says this calls for confetti, and that's why there was stuff falling out of the card. Love, hugs, and kisses, Marcia. So she had mentioned, I think in one of her videos or somewhere, that she had made cards and she was wanting to make a retirement card or something, or no, she's something about since I had retired from homeschooling sorry, I'm mopping up these, not mopping, but playing with this confetti here. She was saying something about wanting to make a retirement card, or this would be a good excuse for her to make a retirement card, and I told her she could practice on me, and so she sent me one. So anyway, inside the card she also sent me a tea bag of Stash. Tea is peppermint, caffeine-free herbal tea. So thank you so much, Marcia. Okay. And then upcoming, let's see, I have a haul video that I'm going to be making in just a few minutes after I finish this one. Be looking for it. Okay. Also upcoming this next Wednesday is a Whip Wall Wednesday, episode number 12. So you can see what I'm working on as far as one of my sleeping whips that I've brought out of sleeping. And and the Happy Scrappy Yarn Challenge, that's hosted by Christy of Tea Doddles and Christy of Crochet Creations by Christy. They will be, they are hosting each month a Scrappy Yarn Challenge, okay? And for this month, Christy of Tea Doddles put forth the challenge to do something with a beach theme, and so I'm going to try to participate. I did not participate last month in that, so I'm going to try to make sure I participated in this month. And of course, there's always upcoming projects that I'll be working on. I got to do the next Rudolph character for the set for this month, or get started on him, and 2 more preemie hats. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Oh, and thank you to all my new subscribers. I'm getting closer and closer to 10,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. Oh, I can't believe it. I'm so thankful for that, and like I said, I'm always so happy to meet so many people, new people, and I love everybody's comments. Everybody's been commenting so many nice things on my videos. I thank you so much. I try to answer all of them as much as I can. But thank you so much, and thank you to my subscribers that have been with me here from the beginning. I'm very honored that you want to come and watch my videos. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so, and follow me on all the projects that I work on. Okay, I think that's it. Everybody have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.